AJ Mendez, better known to most of you as AJ Lee or Mrs. CM Punk, was on the Sessions podcast with Renee Paquette this week. Both of them were in town in Las Vegas for Double or Nothing as their hubbies were wrestling on the big show. So Renee took the opportunity to sit down and have a chat with AJ. They talked about all kinds of fun things, AJ's current project with WOW, which I covered a few weeks back here. You can go check out clips if you want to hear AJ talk specifically about WOW. But in this clip, Renee was kind of teasing, will we ever get to see you in the ring again? And though AJ sounded pretty adamant that her in-ring days were done, and she kind of likes just being, more of the writer, producer side of things, she didn't quite rule it out, though. Check out this clip.
You and Punk, for you guys to both be away from wrestling, but then the conversations to start to happen, like, okay, he's going to get back into wrestling. Like, when you guys started talking about that, what was that like?
So I don't know if he shared this, but the conversation was a conversation, I think, way longer than people knew, with many things happening in the universe. There was many options. And it was a very long time of like, what's the right route here? What's the safest route? What does it look like? Is it, it was something I was kind of scared of, just like seeing what would, I don't know, like emotionally happen.
Yeah.
But that was more or less for his stuff. I retired and I retired.
Yeah. Even though everyone wants that mixed tag, but
oh my God. I know. I always say never say never, but don't hold your breath.
Yeah.
And then everyone always just like holds on to the never say never.
So you're telling me there's a chance.
Yeah. But don't hold your breath, you're going to die.
As much as I would love to see AJ Mendez come back to wrestling, because man, I don't know if you guys I don't know how many of you were watching back when, it was like 10 years ago now that she was on TV. It was the Divas era. It was a different time than what we're living in now. But if you were around and you were watching the era when AJ was on TV, she was fucking great. She was absolutely one of, if not the top women's talents on the roster during her time there. And she was a champion there, and she did do WrestleMania and all that stuff. But on the mic, as a character, as the commissioner for a little bit, like the crazy chick, all of that stuff, like she was such an amazing, she's just great. Like her ability to talk. I'm not saying she was, Serena Deeb in the ring necessarily, but she was actually pretty talented as a wrestler too. Like she wasn't just some ditzy ass diva cunt, she was a very talented wrestler who could hang in today's era. Absolutely could. And, as much as I'd love to see her back in the mix full time, I really only need her for one match. And that's the match that Renee asked about. We need that mixed tag, do we not? Britt Baker and fucking Adam Cole versus CM Punk and AJ Mendez. What if CM Punk gets in the mix? So if you've been listening to the show earlier, we're just fantasy booking the whole year, apparently. Because if you listen to the earlier parts of my show, I talked about the MJF situation, then the CM Punk situation, and how MJF could take the title and be like the anti-AEW champion. I'm holding it hostage, that kind of thing, leading to Punk's return, where Punk is AEW's hero and takes it back from the big bad guy MJF. And then that can lead into a program with Adam Cole, which Adam Cole has been talking about wanting for so long. He wants to work Punk, and I know Punk has mentioned Adam Cole a couple times. We definitely know Punk's friendly with Baker. So it only makes sense that during an Adam Cole CM Punk championship feud, maybe we get a pit stop where they do the mixed tag match with Britt and with AJ. How fucking great would that be? Just one match, one angle. That's all I would request out of AJ, and then she can fuck off forever if she would like to WOW land and movie land and all that stuff, which is her intention to do. And she doesn't sound like she has any intention, don't hold your breath or you'll die, is basically what she said. But she also said, I never say never. So I never say never, but don't hold your breath or you'll die. Look, we've heard Punk say it again. If there's anything I've learned from being a wrestling fan, is that never say never is just nothing can be ruled out in wrestling. Eric Bischoff has been on Monday Night Raw hugging Vince McMahon. CM Punk is back in professional wrestling. Look, you never say never. They always come back. They always come. Bret Hart came back. Bret Hart handshaking Shawn Michaels in the middle of the ring on Monday Night Raw. Come on, man. Never say never in wrestling. So AJ, CM Punk, Britt Baker, Adam Cole, it writes itself. It's an absolute must. It needs to happen. It'll be a huge main event anywhere. Abso-fucking-lutely. Make huge money for AJ, and then she can just ride back off into the sunset. Deep down, she wants to do a match with Punk. She has to, and I know Punk's got to want it. You got to want it. And all they got to do is hang out with Cole and Baker one day and get a little peer pressure in from them. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And I can't wait to fucking see it. But until then, you can catch AJ on WOW if you're into women's wrestling to that level. Seek that shit out. Hey, thanks for checking out that clip. Don't forget to check out other clips here on the channel. And while you're there, throw a like, throw a subscribe. And don't forget to check out full episodes each and every Sunday of the Pro Wrestling Podcast.